Next up, we have Plasma Islet cover by Jake the Snake, a My Singing Monsters song thing. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers, what happens then? Members get early access, artists, let's collaborate. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other stuff at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to read them in full. Also, keep in mind, I am indeed acoustic and guitared, so be patient with me. With that being said, let's do this. Plasma Islet cover. Let's go. Okay, so we start with a very lovely 3 layers mainly. We have, of course, our drums giving us our initial drum beat. We have a piano giving us the accompaniment, and then we have a vocalist giving us what could be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. I also mentioned accompaniment, right? So accompaniment being the backing track, whatever does not have the spotlight, the backing band, all that kind of stuff. We're having that at the moment, right now being mainly the piano. I think we have another synth in the back holding some chords. So, yeah. With that said, let's go ahead and see where this goes. So we repeat. We're getting some distortion in the vocals. And okay, so now we switch from that one solo vocalist to an entire arrangement, a vocal arrangement of a bunch of different people, a bunch of different vocal lines, still singing a variation of this motif in what could be, we could call this a choral arrangement. Because we have a group of people singing. Usually a choral arrangement is going to be divided into 4 parts. This sounds to be a bit more than that. So we're having that going on. So in this case, instead of being a choral arrangement, we could call it a vocal arrangement. So we're having that happening. And yeah, let's just see where it goes. Okay, so before we go over to this change, we are having also a little bit of counterpoint in some of the vocal parts. Counterpoint being, of course, the art or the study of melodies, how they interact with one another, how they develop, usually in the context of having 2 or more at the same time. So we're having this counterpoint going over here. We have... Usually counterpoint is measured in 3 different types of motion. You have parallel, you have similar, and you have contrary. What we're hearing over here so far has been similar motion. Parallel motion means that you have 2 melodies that are doing the same thing just from different points on the melody. These can always be, by the way, either of the motions can happen in 2 ways. They can be diatonic or they can be chromatic. Diatonic means that all the notes will belong to the scale that you're using. Chromatic means you're using absolute values. So what do I mean by that? Let's say we have the scale of C major, which is all the white keys in the keyboard. Now, anything that we play with the white keys in the keyboard while we're in the key of C majors would be diatonic to C major, which means if we were to play any of the black keys while playing C major, we would be engaging in chromaticism. So, if we were to then take these concepts, right? So parallel means that you have 2 or more melodies playing the same shape from different starting points. So let's say we have this over here. Then we have a second melody repeating this. If it were to be diatonic, it would be relative to the spaces, just not taking into account absolute values, because the distance between notes changes as you change throughout the scale. So if we were to do starting here in E, so the first one would be C, the second one would be starting on E. This is how it would sound if it were diatonic. This is what it would sound like if it were chromatic. So it would have the same absolute values, and this is where things get really they can get fairly confusing. So this is what it would sound like if we had what's it called, parallel motion in diatonic. This is what it would sound like if it was parallel motion chromatically. So very, very different, and it can be very tricky at times. Similar motion, that means that you have melodies mostly going the same way, just not really doing the one-to-one parallel motion that we were having. I always give the example of the what's it called, the invention in D minor, right? And I messed it up. So we're having that where, yes, the melodies are mostly going the same way. There's just not that, there's no one-to-one. Like, there's different variations in between. Gunther, welcome today. Arclight, welcome today. G, welcome today. Can you listen to whatever song? We have a system for this. So yeah, you showing up in the chat. Like, requests are closed right now. So I am gonna forget that you said that. So yeah, it's not just to be an asshole, it's that I genuinely will forget. So then we have, of course, contrary motion, which just means one goes up, the other one goes down. Very, very simple. In this case, we're having some similar motion, which with what could be a little bit of canonic imitation, where we are having, for example, so kind of thing. And oh, lovely, Candy, congratulations, you've made yourself into the naughty list. Good job. All right, so let's see. So we have this going on, and let's see where it goes. Nice, Greek, welcome today, how you doing? So we are now switching over to this variation. We're doing a variation of the motif. We're switching to this, like, funky thing. Botrix is usually delayed. That, or you're using, like, an alternate version of an exclamation point. Still, I'm just gonna pull an audible and just, for scaring me into that, I'm just gonna keep you there. So, we're now having the drums. We have the drums switching up a little bit. We're having the background switching over to a more funky sound. It's okay. Yeah, it might have been a different sound, but I don't know. Like, we had the bots going down earlier today, so yeah. Yeah, let's see where this goes. How convenient is it that your internet goes out the moment you become a member? Very. And thank you for the membership, by the way. Let's see where this goes. So we're having parallel motion over here between the melodies. And we are having the piano doing a little bit of, it's kind of funky, kind of not. I really like this change in thing. Oh, you swapped it to the Russian, to the Cyrillic version. Okay, that's why. That's why. Still, you scared me. So, we switch over. We now have this other rhythm. This is really cool. I really like the contrast, because it's difficult to pull a stark contrast like this unless your music is designed to be that way. It's okay, I forgive you. For example, if you listen to a band such as Between the Buried and Me, which, by the way, one of my favorite bands, Between the Buried and Me. These guys are experimental metal, which means one moment you're having, like, really cool thrash metal, like the guitars are going insane, and it's all going extremely cool, and the next moment you're doing a weird reggae waltz kind of thing. Like, you're having that kind of contrast. Making it work is very, very difficult. And even here right now with this, it's still tricky to pull off such a contrast. The way you do this, the way you pull off a contrast like this, is that you still keep some sort of connective tissue in between. For example, in this case, we're doing a variation of the motif, and we are keeping most of the sounds kind of the same. So now that we switch over to this version of everything, it smoothens up the transition a lot more. Let's see where it goes. So we bring in some counterpoint. Really cool. We have a little bit of chromaticism there. As you can hear, the scale, that last note in the melody, not entirely going where you would expect it to go. Chromaticism, as I said, is when you borrow from the chromatic scale. If we were to do an example here in C major, it would be, let's say we have... And if we were to then engage in chromaticism, the way that it happened over here, we would change this last note here to here. So we would do... So it would change. It changes things completely, and it allows you to do a lot of really fun stuff. So right now we're having this, and most importantly, now we switched the melody that we had just back here, and we have given it to one of the synths a little bit higher, and we have inverted that melody. So in music, inversion, at least in the melody, is one of the ways that you can develop your material, in which you turn the melody upside down. So if we were to bring the example over here of this C major, let's simplify it a little bit, right? So let's say we have this as our melody, and we were to put it upside down. We would have it that way. And Real Suitable World, welcome today. Monster Handlers, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Let me drink some water. All right, so with that, let's see. So we're having that, and then we're bringing in another variation in the vocals, doing a little bit of counterpoint. Let's see where it goes. Or I think the original version. No, we're still doing the first variation with the vocals. There we go, and... Okay, so we switch styles again. Now we go for a more hard rock style over here, hard rock, heavy metal kind of thing. Really, really cool. We bring in the electric guitars. We make the drums a little bit heavier now in their timbre. We bring in a few more vocals, a little bit more aggressive. This time around, we're doing another variation while we're still having the previous variation playing at the same time. Tricky mix to have. Really good results. Let's see where it goes. Okay, no, we don't have the previous version. We don't have the previous version. We are doing two versions of this new motif, one on top of the other. We are engaging in counterpoint over here. This is really cool. Let's see where it goes. I really like the tone. We bring in a saxophone, playing the second version that we had, while we're having some vocals on top of this, on top of everything. Very nice. Very cool. It sounds like a guitar. We switch styles once again, and we bring in these chimey synths doing arpeggios. So arpeggios in music is when you play a chord one note at a time. These ones are descending arpeggios. There's two main types. There's ascending arpeggios and descending arpeggios. So let's say this is C major. Here's an ascending arpeggio in C major. And here it is descending. So yeah, ascending, descending, up and down the octave. Pretty straightforward. And in this case, we're having a slightly more complicated chord. Engaging in some arpeggio with like a major seventh chord. I think you can even do twice. So yeah, you can get a very beautiful sound with that kind of stuff. Dave House, welcome today. How you doing? Arpeggios with a hand gesture we have done. Yes. Have you played Where Winds Meet? Yeah, we played it yesterday. I really like it. I really like it. Today we're starting Halo though. So yes, we're having, reminds me of the outro of Avatar: The Last Airbender to an extent. Yes, so we're now having these beautiful arpeggios. You're addicted to it. I can see why. Because it has a lot of the aspects of mini games that I really enjoyed. But today I really want to start Halo. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Oh yes, and on top of that, we're having the arpeggios. Halo, we're starting with Master Chief, so I think we're going to start with Reach. Which, by the way, we're going to be playing over at Games Are Basterd. That's where the recording is going to go. We're playing it live on stream. Anyway, we're having the vocals now doing the vocal arrangement. They're holding the chords that the chimes are now arpeggiating downwards. And of course, we went off the ramp with this. Off the ramp, of course, being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a specific type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums, maybe the synth, maybe the bass, many layers. And yeah, I'm playing it in the chronological order, yeah. Because I think the only difference is that Reach came after Halo 1, and then the other ones are in order, I believe. So yes, we're having this, and let's see where it goes. We remove the arpeggios. Now, there we go. We have the arpeggios again. We have another layer of the chimes, giving the... Yep. I thought it was Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, Reach, and then the rest. I thought after 3 was ODST and then Reach. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Forgot about ODST. Yeah, I know. I played a little bit of ODST in, like, 2009. And that was, like, the extent of my exposure to Halo. Either way, let's continue. Very lovely. We're slowly bringing the... drums back. Then welcome today. How you doing? Yes, yes, you have. Oh, dude, we just introduced the drums, and it's already such a massive difference. This is really good. This has been my favorite part of this whole thing. Just the ethereal, chimey nature of this whole thing. And just the fact that the melody is being carried by the arpeggios, everything else is just the vocal arrangement. And by the way, the chords that are being sung by the vocals are doing an elongated version of the motif. So elongation is when you slow something down, right? So if we were to do something like, let's bring this one back, an elongated version. And the cool thing is that after that, if you introduce arpeggios, you can really end up making it sound a lot more whole. For example, if we were to, let's say, do a chord progression, we're doing this one. Let's say we're doing this, and then we are doing the... Okay, so first note. So even though we're holding down the chord, the melody still sounds really, really, really nice, even though it's elongated, because the original... at the same speed that the arpeggios are going. But if we were to elongate it and add some arpeggios to it, it gets really, really cool. This is, by the way, how Beethoven does a lot of his melodies. He just mixes in chords in between. This is super common also throughout a lot of piano music. For example, Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, the main melody is this. That is the main melody of the first movement of the Moonlight Sonata. But once you introduce the chords... I played the wrong note back there. Anyway, we have that. We have this other one. Where the melody is just... Play the third movement. I do not... I am not a pianist. I cannot play like... I know the chords. I know those. I am not going to try and play them. Especially because the keyboard is in a very awkward angle, and I am not a pianist. So we have that. And having the arpeggios on top of this, it just adds that sense of motion to this. But really, really cool. Let's see where this goes. big difference just done. Not a pianist. Correct, D-Hubs, correct. Oh, and we have a little bit of the saxophone back there as well, I think. So now we're just letting the melody play its course here. This might be our outro. Very climactic. Wait, no. Oh, we bring this variation back. We did bring this variation back with the counterpoint that we did earlier. We're slowly removing stuff. And we're slowly replacing. Interestingly enough, we did not fade them out. We ended up doing a diminuendo on them. They got quieter. They started singing quieter as they went away one by one until we were left with just the drums and the synth. And there you go. There you go. Man, that was really cool. That was really cool. That ethereal, like the arpeggios part, that was so nice. Like the whole thing was really good. This whole thing was really good. But that part, that climax was really, really good. So there you have it. That was Plasma Islet cover by JakeTheDrake, My Singing Monsters song fan thing, I believe. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, which not very likely, is still possible, not very likely. On top of doing the fan fiction audiobook thing, I will also play a video game of the choice of the community. Whatever y'all want, we'll play it live on stream. We will dedicate a few streams to that within TOS. Please. This has to be achieved through legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no alt accounting, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, share these videos far and wide. Also use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates with for that, so link down below, go coordinate with them. Artists, Jake, or anybody else. This is an open invitation. Let's collaborate. If you want any of my musical skills for any of your projects, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, just reach out, let me know, let's make it work, right? Let's get to work. And if you're in the audience and you know anybody who could benefit, let them know. Please do not harass anyone, please do not spam anyone, keep things cool, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 2.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you are not on the live stream, check the pinned comment. It has the instructions on what to do. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you are not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch, both linked down below. So if you live in George and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Don't worry, just go to Discord or Twitch, both are linked down below, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Bastard. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings. When they happen, we record them live on stream and then the recordings go there. Link down below, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Bastard. Just swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Plasma Islet cover. That was really good, dude. That was really good. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.